In the heart of old Jadeh, Amina and Yusuf waited under assumed names. The pendant from the ghostly Samira now lay on the table between them. Its swirling black sand stilled only when it touched ancient parchment. It reacted to something in the scrolls or to someone. They weren't alone in Jeddah by accident. Samira's final words had pointed them toward a name whispered only among a few exiled scholars. Layla ibn Rashid, a revered imam and spiritual advisor to a powerful religious council in Mecca. Or worse, these texts are fire, and you're carrying them through dry lands. She was in the Margenza hacker, a linguist, a ghost in academic database, and the author of a forbidden thesis titled Pre-Canonical Traditions of the Hijra. Her work was erased, but not before Yusuf had saved fragments. Inside was a fragment of papyrus, scorched at the edges, with a seal identical to the one on Amina's manuscript. Not geographic, temporal. It points to how the Kaaba's purpose has shifted across empires. The language was ancient, but beneath the lines were interlaced numeric inscriptions and Abjad code. But Layla wasn't in the mosques or lecture halls. Before Islam, before even the Quran, it was a Geta chamber that opened once in 1,000 years during a celestial alignment. The black veil was created to guard its original mechanism and to ensure no one opens it again. Instead, Layla arrived wrapped in contradictions, modern in appearance. Traditional in manna, eyes lined with kohl but burning with unrest. They arranged a meeting under cover of night. Amina expected someone hidden and hardened. Beneath it lies a chamber that has not been opened in over 14 centuries. That's where they hid the artifact you're chasing. You're lucky my father hasn't had you arrested, Layla said flatly, examining the scrolls. But when I started asking the wrong questions, he disowned me. Said women had no place in sacred engineering. Amina didn't flinch. You know about the eye, don't you? Layla hesitated. I know my father used to speak of it in his sleep, like a nightmare that never left him. She sat down and unwrapped a thin bundle from her satchel. A hidden line glowed faintly. It's part of a lost prophecy, Layla explained. One split between 3 documents. This is the second. And together, they form a map. Amina leaned in, heart pounding. Shifted how? Layla looked up, her voice low and laced with anguish. The Kaaba was not always the sanctuary it is now. A long silence followed. Yusuf finally spoke. You know this because you were trained by them. Layla didn't deny it. My father was one of the last gatekeepers, she said bitterly. Amina stared. You said mechanism? Are you saying the Kaaba is more than symbolic? If the truth is at the Kaaba's foundation, I want to be there when it opens. Unaware that within their midst walked 3 people who were not here for forgiveness, but for truth. Layla nodded. It's a vault. At that moment, the pendant on the table pulsed and cracked open, releasing a single grain of black sand that floated in midair, then dropped sharply onto Layla's place. The third night of when the moon would pass directly above the Kaaba's black stone, according to the ancient prophecy. When the eye of heaven kisses the stone below, the gate shall remember its purpose. Yusuf read it aloud. Only she who bears no sect shall see the stone unblinded. But as the final tawaf ended, and the crowd thinned, Layla led them toward the southern base of the structure, toward a portion of the foundation rarely touched, where a single ancient stone appeared darker than the rest. The pieces were aligning too perfectly. It felt like stepping into a painting you were never meant to alter. Suddenly, a burst of static crackled from a nearby radio. Layla tensed. They've found us. Black Veil operatives sweep the city every Friday before Fajr. Amina grabbed the scrolls, the pendant, the map. Yusuf held the door open, glancing at Layla. Coming with us. Layla hesitated then. I've been hiding in the shadows long enough. The deeper they went, the colder the air became. After what felt like hours, the staircase ended in a small, circular chamber, no larger than a modest prayer room. And there, at its center, resting atop a stone pedestal, was a locked chest ancient, sealed with a series of interlocking mechanisms shaped like planetary orbits. As the 3 fled into the narrow alleyways of Old Jeddah, the call to prayer began to echo across the city. But beneath the peaceful chants, a war was awakening, one between faith and forgotten memory. Between daughters who questioned and fathers who buried the past. And somewhere beneath Mecca, the vault of ages stirred. Mecca, the city where history and destiny blurred into one eternal breath. For Amina, walking through its narrow alleys and sacred courtyards was both awe-inspiring and suffocating. When I realized what was hidden here, I took the artifact and ran. That's why they hunted me, why they discredited me. But when he held it out, it shimmered with a pulse not of light, but of memory. Clad in Ihram garments, Amina, Yusuf, and Layla moved with the tides of pilgrims from across the world, faces aglow with reverence. Their path was hidden in plain sight. Layla, esticoded map overlaid with the celestial coordinates Yusuf had extracted from the first scroll, pointed to a specific time. That night, they blended into the sea of worshippers, circling the Kaaba with practiced solemnity. But it's not passive. It chooses what to show. Or whom. She pressed the glass pendant, the same one given by Samir, against a small, invisible indentation near the stone's edge. The black sand inside the pendant flared once and then disappeared completely. Then came the softest sound, a hiss, like old breath being exhaled after centuries of silence. Suddenly, The stone shifted. Amina stepped back in disbelief as a narrow panel of the Kaaba's foundation slid aside, revealing a stairwell spiraling into utter darkness. Impossible, Yusuf whispered. Nothing in the historical records. Layla's voice trembled. They've hidden it well, even from scripture. They descended. The staircase was carved in basalt, untouched by time. Is this it? Amina breathed. Yusuf stepped forward. This isn't a lock, it's a calendar. He adjusted the final ring to match the current lunar phase. Click. The chest opened. Inside was nothing. Only a velvet-lined depression where something once rested. An object had clearly been here but was now gone. A silence hung so heavy it became a presence in the room. Then Yusuf whispered, I took it. 5 years ago. Amina turned sharply. What did you just say? He didn't meet her eyes. The black veil tasked me with translating this chamber's inscriptions years ago. He reached into his robe and retrieved a small black stone. Smooth and cold, no larger than a walnut. Amina could feel it even before touching it. Her skin prickled, her breath hitched. Layla stepped back, eyes wide. That's the eye of Abraham. Yusuf nodded solemnly. It doesn't just hold knowledge, it reveals it. Amina reached out, but before she could touch it, the stone flared and the chamber shook. Above, a muffled explosion sounded. They've found us, Layla said. Yusuf placed the stone into Amina's hand. We have no time. Whatever it shows, it will change everything. And as the stone met her palm, everything changed. Her body stiffened. Her pupils dilated. Her mind was no longer in the chamber. She was fallen backward through time.